Good morning to our Professor, Dr. Altia, and to my co-masterants. Good morning. I am Jonalyn Torrenueva. My report is all about human capital management. Human capital management is concerned with obtaining, analyzing, and reporting on data that inform the direction of value-adding people management, strategic investments, and operational decisions at corporate level and at the level of frontline management. It is, as emphasized by Kearns 2005, ultimately about value. Human capital management is concerned with purposeful measurement, not just measurement. The defining characteristic of human capital management is the use of metrics to guide an approach to managing people that regards them as assets and emphasizes that competitive advantage is achieved by strategic investments in those assets through employee engagement and retention, talent management, and learning and development programs. Human capital management provides a bridge between HR and business strategy. We have the concept of human capital. Individuals generate, retain, and use knowledge and skill or human capital and create intellectual capital. Their knowledge is enhanced by the interactions between them. Social capital and generates the institutionalized knowledge possessed by an organization or organizational capital. These concepts of human intellectual, social, and organizational capital are explained below. Human capital consists of the knowledge, skills, and abilities of the people employed in an organization. The term was originated by Schultz 1961, who elaborated his concept in 1981 as follows. Consider all human abilities to be either innate or acquired. Attributes which are valuable and can be augmented by appropriate investment will be human capital. A more detailed definition was put forward by Bontes et al. 1999 as follows. Human capital represents the human factor in the organization, the combined intelligence, skills, and expertise that gives the organization its distinctive character. The human elements of the organization are those that are capable of learning, changing, innovating, and providing the creative trust which is properly motivated can ensure the long-term survival of the organization. We have Scarborough and Elias 2002 believed that the concept of human capital is most usefully viewed as a bridging concept. That is, it defines the link between HR practices and business performance in terms of assets rather than business processes. They point out that human capital is to a large extent non-standardized asset, dynamic, context-dependent, and embedded in people. These characteristics make it difficult to evaluate human capital, bearing in mind that the features of human capital that are so crucial to firm performance are the flexibility and creativity of individuals, their ability to develop skills over time, and to respond in a motivated way to different contexts. The constituents of human capital. Human capital consists of intellectual, social, and organizational capital. First, we have intellectual capital. The concept of human capital is associated with the overarching concept of intellectual capital, which is defined as the stocks and flows of knowledge available to an organization. This can be regarded as the intangible resources associated with people which, together with tangible resources or money and physical assets, comprises the market or total value of a business. Bontes 1998 defines intangible resources as the factors other than financial and physical assets that contribute to the value-generating processes of a firm and under its control. Second, we have social capital. Social capital is another element of intellectual capital. It consists of the knowledge derived from networks of relationships within and outside in the organization. The concept of social capital has been defined by Patman 1996 as the features of social life, networks, norms, and trust that enable participants to act together more effectively to pursue shared objectives. It is important to take into account social capital considerations. That is the ways in which knowledge is developed through interaction between people. Buntis et al. 1999 point out that is flows as well as stocks that matter. Intellectual capital develops and changes over time, and a significant part is played in these processes by people acting together. Third is organizational capital. Organizational capital is the institutionalized knowledge possessed by an organization that is stored in database, manuals, etc. Yung 2000. It is often called structural capital, Edvinson and Malone, 1997, but the term organizational capital is preferred by Yount because he argues it conveys more clearly that this is the knowledge that the organization actually owns. Next, we have the significance of human capital theory. The added value that people can contribute to an organization is emphasized by human capital theory. It regards people as assets and stresses that investment organizations in people will generate worthwhile returns. Human capital theory is associated with the resource-based view of the firm as developed by Barney in 1991. This proposes that sustainable competitive advantage is attained when the firm has a human resource pool that cannot be imitated or substituted by its rivals. Boxall 1996 refers to this situation as one that confers human capital advantage. But he also notes 1996-1999 that a distinction should be made between human capital advantage and human process advantage. We have human capital theory helps to determine the impact of people on the business and their contribution to shareholder value. Demonstrate that HR practices produce value for money in terms, for example, of return on investment. Third, provide guidance on future HR and business strategies. Next, provide data that will inform strategies and practices designed to improve the effectiveness of people management in the organization. Human capital measurement. Human capital measurement has been defined by EDS 2004 as being about finding links, correlations, and ideally causation between different sets of HR data using statistical techniques. As Baker et al. 2001 emphasized, the primary aim of human capital management is to assess the impact of human resource management practices and the contribution made by people to organizational performance. Methods of measuring impact and contribution based upon human capital data have therefore to be developed. The need for human capital measurement. There is an overwhelming case for evolving methods of valuing human capital as an aid to people management or decision making. This may mean identifying the key people management drivers and modeling the effect of varying them. The need is to develop a framework within which reliable information can be collected and analyzed, such as added value per employee, productivity and measures of employee behavior, or attrition and absenteeism rates, the frequency or severity rate of accidents, and cost savings resulting from suggestion schemes. Reasons for the interest in measurement. The recognized importance of achieving human capital advantage has led to an interest in the development of methods of measuring the value and impact of the capital. As indicated below, reasons for the interest in measuring the value and impact of human capital. We have human capital constitutes a key element of the market worth of a company. A research study conducted in 2003 CFO Research Studies estimated that the value of human capital represented over 36% of total revenue in a typical organization. Next, people in organizations add value, and there is a case for assessing this value to provide a basis for HR planning and for monitoring the effectiveness and impact of HR policies and practices. Next, the process of identifying measures and collecting and analyzing information relating to them will focus the attention of the organization on what needs to be done to find, keep, develop, and make the best use of its human capital. Next, measurements can be used to monitor progress in achieving strategic HR goals and generally to evaluate the effectiveness of HR practices. Then you cannot manage unless you measure. Next, we have the 3 approaches to measurements. First, the Human Capital Index. On the basis of a survey of companies that have linked together HR management practices and market value, Watsonia 2002 identified 4 major categories of HR practice that could be linked to increases in shareholder value creation. Next, the organizational performance model. As described by Nalbansian et al. 2004, the organizational performance model developed by Mercer HR Consulting is based on the following elements: people, work processes, management, structure, information and knowledge, decision-making, and rewards, each of which plays out differently within the context of the organization, creating a unique DNA. Third, the Human Capital Monitor. Andrew Mayo, 2001, has developed the Human Capital Monitor to identify the human value of the enterprise or human asset worth, which is equal to employment cost times individual asset multiplier. Next, we have the main human capital management data used for measurement. First, the basic workforce data is the demographic data or numbers by job categories, sex, race, age, disability, working arrangements, absence and sickness, turnover, and pay. Second, people development and performance data, learning and development programs, performance management, potential assessments, skills and qualifications. Third, perceptual data is the attitude or opinion surveys, focus groups, or exit interviews. Fourth, performance data is the financial, operational, and customer. Human capital internal reporting. Analyzing and reporting human capital data to top management and line managers will lead to better informed decision making about what kind of actions or practices will improve business results, increase ability to recognize problems, and take rapid action to deal with them, and the scope to demonstrate the effectiveness of HR's solutions and thus support the business case for a greater investment in HR practices. The process of reporting the data internally and the inferences obtained from them is therefore a vital part of human capital management. It is necessary to be clear about what data is required and how it will be communicated and used. The factors affecting the choice of what should be reported in the form of metrics are: first, the type of organization. Measures are context dependent. Second, the business goals of the organization. Third, the business drivers of the organization, the factors that contribute to the achievement of business goals, such as increases in revenue, control of cost, customer service, quality, innovation, expansion through mergers and acquisitions, product development, and market development. Next, the existing key performance indicators used in the organization. Next, the use of a balanced scorecard which enables a comprehensive view of performance to be taken by reference to four perspectives: financial, customer, innovation, and learning, and internal processes. Next, the availability of data. Then, the use of data. Measures should only be selected that can be put to good use in guiding strategy and reporting on performance. Okay, that's all, ma'am, and my classmates. These are the references. Thank you for watching and listening. Goodbye.